Afternoon, everyone. Scouse Bandit here. Hope you're all doing okay. There's a bit of sun coming out. It makes a change. We've just come through Storm Doris, and here in Liverpool, it was quite dramatic. Storm Doris hit hard. I've got to be honest. And there was quite a bit of damage, and I've just come through a couple of roads back there where there are a number of trees that have fallen, loads of debris on the road that they're still tidying up. And I was actually in town. I was in the city on the main day when it happened, and I've got to be honest, it was a bit frightening. There were some severe gusts. Apparently, it reached in Liverpool 100-mile-an-hour winds, and luckily I was in the car. And I was sat there on the front there, right by the library buildings. And I'm not kidding you, it felt like the panels on the car were being ripped off at one point. The wind was that strong. I didn't see any bikers out that day. I wonder why. But it got me thinking about biking and safety gear. And it got me thinking about what we were. Because the day after Storm Doris, I was out with the wife, and again, we were in the car, and we were going through Speak. And coming the opposite way was a nice R1, Yamaha R1. And riding the R1 was a young lad who was wearing shorts and a hoodie and his trainers. It's February the 25th, and he was wearing shorts, a hoodie, and trainers. Now, he might have just come from playing football or something, I don't know, but he was wearing his shorts. Now, it's something I've never, ever done on a motorbike. I've never worn shorts. And I want to tell you why, so I'm going to talk a little bit about that. I used to race push bikes for years. As a kid growing up, I started racing mountain bikes, and then I got into road bikes, and I raced road bikes for 10 years. And I loved it. Obviously, we're in Lycra, and you can get up some really good speeds on those push bikes, on the racing bikes, you know. And I had a couple of nasty crashes, and there was one major crash that stopped me racing in the end, and that meant that I finished. And I came off at over 40 miles an hour on a push bike wearing Lycra, and I did some considerable damage to my skin. Gravel rash is not a pleasant thing. It's not a pleasant thing, I've got to be honest. And it takes weeks and weeks and months to recover from. Because those wounds, they're sticky, aren't they? And, and they weep. And then whatever it sticks to, whether it's clothing or whether it's your bed linen, it sticks. And then when you have to unstick yourself, you pull a bit more of the healing skin off, and you're back to square one. It's not a pleasant experience. It takes a long time to recover from gravel rash. And that's one of the reasons from that experience that I will never, ever wear shorts and T-shirt whilst riding. So I wonder what you wear when you're out and about. For me, absolute bare minimum is my helmet, which is the law in this country, my helmet, my jacket. I always wear a motorbike jacket with protective armour in the elbows and the shoulders and the back, and my gloves. Absolute minimum helmet, jacket and gloves, all of good quality. And my gloves are, they change depending on the conditions. Sometimes I wear my winter gloves, but to be honest, I don't like winter gloves. I find them really bulky. I love these ones. These are my summer gloves. All the protection that you need on them. Really comfy and nice to wear. And with heated grips on, they're generally all right, unless it's a really, really bad day. But generally, they're okay. So anyway, always wear that. And then 95% of the time I ride my bike, I've got to say it's not every time, but 95% of the time I'll wear my boots as well, and motorbike boots. I've got a nice pair of City rain boots, the Gore-Tex rain boots, and they're fantastic. They're really warm, actually, and 100% waterproof. They've never once failed me, and they keep your feet really warm. So 95% of the time, I'll wear my boots. Now, there are times for certain reasons that I won't wear motorbike boots, but I do tend to wear substantial shoes. If I'm not wearing motorbike boots, I'll wear substantial footwear with a heavy sole or a boot, a leather boot of some kind. I don't think I've once worn trainers when I've been riding. I wore my trainers once and I hated it. I felt really vulnerable and really exposed. I've got to be honest. I felt a bit frightened because you just know if you come off, you've got nothing. At least with boots on, proper specific bike boots on, you've got some protection. And then the other thing that leads me to is my motorbike trousers. Probably 80% of the time, I'll wear bike-specific trousers, whether they're my textile ones, and again, they've got all the padding in with the hip protectors and the knee protectors, etc., or whether it's my leather ones that I wear, again, with all the protection in. Mostly in the winter, I'll wear the textiles, and then in the better weather, I'll wear my leathers. Sometimes in the summer, in the nicer weather, I've got to be honest, I do wear just a pair of jeans. Sometimes it's just a bit of a hassle, isn't it, to put bike trousers on, and then particularly when you go in somewhere and you've got to get changed and put your ordinary trousers on. Sometimes, yeah, I've got to be honest, I will just wear jeans. I find it easier, but that's my choice, and I'm prepared to take that risk and that chance. The rest of my body is covered up, whether it's with boots, gloves, proper jacket, helmet. I know that's probably a cop-out, but that's the risk that I'm prepared to take, and I suppose we all need to take various risks. But anyway, that's what I wear. I just wondered, what do you wear? Are you someone who absolutely always wears your biking gear, even if you're just going out for a pint of milk, or do you sometimes not? Let me know what you think. Let me know your comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And until then, it's been the Scouse Bandit. I'll see you soon.